Hello there my fellow notebook aficionados, it's Alex here for NotebookcheckReviews. The good folks from Lenovo visited us in the studio last week and they gave us an early look at some of their new laptops which are being announced today. In particular, we had a chance to play around with the updated Yoga Pro 7 and the all-new 16-inch Yoga Pro 9i that I have right here in front of me. And spoiler alert, this one is awesome in more ways than you might imagine. Before we get to the star of the show though, let me quickly give you a rundown of the updated Pro 7. We reviewed both the AMD powered variant as well as the 7i last year, and since this is mostly a spec refresh, please feel free to check out the reviews via the link in the description below. The slim notebook comes with a total of 3 display options, makes the jump to AMD's refreshed Zen 3 Plus or even Zen 4 CPUs, and comes with either an RTX 3050 or 4050 for your gaming or content creation needs. In terms of I/O, you have 2 USB-Cs 3.2 Gen 1s and HDMI 2.1 on the left, and a single USB-A and full-size SD card reader on the right. So if you're looking for a super compact yet still very capable notebook for all sorts of different use cases, you should definitely stay tuned for a full review of this guy. I am especially curious about how battery life and performance will look like with those new AMD chips. Alright guys, time to talk about this one, the Yoga Pro 9i in the new 16-inch variant. Not only does it look absolutely awesome in this new color called Tidal Teal, but it's also packed with features and performance, making this quite the sleeper. While the sleek chassis and clean design will make this one right at home in all homes and offices worldwide without raising an eyebrow, an i9-13905H, RTX 4070 and a 165Hz 3.2K mini LED display sounds like a full-blown gamer on paper. The rarely seen CPU is accompanied by a generous amount of 64 gigs of system memory, running at a very snappy 6400 MHz, which also makes this one very interesting for photo and video editors running memory-intensive applications. Lenovo clearly has put its sights on the creators amongst us, which also becomes apparent when looking at the display specs. 1200 nits maximum brightness in HDR, a crispy 3200 by 2000 pixel resolution, and full coverage for sRGB, DCI-P3 and Adobe RGB sounds like every visual artist's wishlist. It's also a touchscreen, and as mentioned earlier, you do not have to compromise for your after-work gaming needs with the speedy 165Hz refresh rate. The 4070 in here should also be able to push some serious frames. Maybe not in the native resolution or at 165Hz, but if you drop things down to Full HD for competitive shooters or work with DLSS 3 and frame generation, the Yoga 9 might also be a great choice for casual gamers. Especially for those that want something a little bit more stealthy. Unfortunately, this is an engineering sample, so I wasn't able to do any measurements yet, but from my initial testing, this one might fight for the top placement amongst your performance lifestyle notebooks, such as the recent MacBook Pros, Dell's XPS lineup, or even something like MSI's Creator notebooks. So even if I'm not yet allowed to give you any performance numbers, I still did a few hours of gaming on this one and also took it for a spin for one of our videos and for a few edits in Photoshop. And well, everything went very promising. Apart from all the performance specs, the 16-incher also features some everyday creature comforts, such as a surprisingly decent speaker system, a 5-megapixel webcam and an improved keyboard. I/O is also alright with a single USB-C Thunderbolt 4, HDMI 2.1 and a USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 on the left and an additional USB-A and full-size SD card reader on the right. Build quality in general also leaves nothing to be desired, and the chassis feels extremely sturdy with no flex anywhere. The hinges are tuned well too, keeping the glass top display firmly in place with almost no wobble. Alright good people, it is almost time to wrap this up for today already. I know, this was not a lot more than a tease for now, but I think especially the Yoga 9i could be a very interesting multi-purpose notebook for this generation. It might be a compromise in almost everything, but for now it seems like Lenovo did a very fine job at balancing everything, and with a starting price of 2300 euros, it is also very well positioned in the creator segment. But please, let me know what you think about these puppies, and consider leaving a like if I was able to inform or entertain you. And you should definitely subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our full review for this one as soon as we can get our hands on a proper review sample. that would be it for today. Thanks a ton for your attention. My name is Alex, you have been absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.